Hello everybody. I was going to start streaming a little later, but I was kind of in the mood, so I thought I'd start now. The only problem is, I forgot to get me a drink. So, clearly my intelligence level has not gone up today, but that's fine. We will mutter on for a bit, and then I'll run away and grab a drink later. So, let's look and see where we got to. This is where we were at when we finished yesterday. We did really well yesterday. I don't think there are any known mistakes at this point. We won't know until we pull the pins out, will we? So, the question becomes, what do I do next? So, if I move some bobbins like this, underneath this section there is the shaded cloth stitch section, and there's the cloth stitch section here. I could do either at this point, but as we know, bobbin overcrowding is most definitely a thing for me, so I'm going to, I think, go with this left hand side one. I mean, I truly have the choice. One does not depend on the other. But I'm going to try and shove these all round out the way, because I won't be needing them for a little bit. And then I'm going to try and pull these down. And, I got a pin there. It's the only problem with this hobby, you find pins everywhere. Yesterday, I had 2 pins that I was using for my starter pins, and I put them in my mouse pad. I didn't find them till halfway through this evening, so here we go. Don't forget there are bobbins under there, so let's cover up these for now to help them stay kind of calm and out the way. So these were our active cloth stitch bobbins. Maybe not you. No, and you. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the worker pair. So we're in a position where, well, time to start, I suppose. Let's put you round the corner a little bit more, if you'll go. Thank you. So let's have a look. You need to be twisted. Dog's going nuts in the garden. Well done, dog. I'm sure it really needs barking at. So, now we're back the other side. Now, when we're back the other side, we need to add some, but we're also taking a pair away. So this pair are done for. We don't need you anymore. And this pair are anew. So we shall add them. See, it's not a very wide working point, not with such thick bobbins. But never mind. As long as we keep the right number of bobbins, it doesn't matter. I don't know who you're singing to, Amy, but it's fine. Thank you for that, Doug. Let's use some of these pins, because we can. That doesn't feel good. Shut up, dog. Really? Oops, cloth's made a bid for freedom. It's going to be awkward to get it. There we go. As my computer desk is in the way. It's a cloth, Rory. It's really not that exciting. Let's put that up there. In fact, we shall hold it down with a pin, just to kind of cheer it up. Pins for you. Excuse me one moment. Hello. What? You have been fed. You have had your main meal, I swear, twice today. You two need to lie down and chill out. We've done the dog things. We did. We did do more than plenty of dog things. No, don't maul me. I'm not requiring them all. One, two, three, four, five. I do love you. Yes, I do. I do. Apparently, I need to have a hug. I am lacking in hugs, apparently. Am I lacking in hugs? Okay. Well, if you'd sit still, that would be fine. It would. You're going to sit still. That I doubt very, very much. It's not in your nature, is it? I said you'd have to sit still. That's not being still. That's moving. It is. That is moving. Otherwise you might end up with a pin in the nose. Right. And that would be Not a good thing. Don't want pins in puppy noses. No. Really? Go to sleep. I have to push a few more pins down, actually, to make sure I don't pull one of the side ones out. There's my pin pusher. So let's do this side first and sing it over the dog even harder, because of course everything's virtually invisible. And we will turn it this way. And yes, you are in the way, Mr. Paws. And don't lean on it. That definitely doesn't help. Oops. That's... Oh, Amy! These edge pins are really hard to see, just because the pins are so thin, but also because of where they are in relation to me versus the glasses. So they're right at that awkward point in my glasses where they're not distant vision, they're not close vision, and although I have variable glasses, it's still not a good spot, so never mind. Looking tidy. Always a good thing. You go over there. Because cloth stitch always starts left over right, when I'm doing kind of my mass move to the side, cloth stitch is, as I will demonstrate with these 4 bobbins. So let me zoom a little more on these 4 bobbins for you. So it goes left over right, right, the 2 outside ones go right over left, and one in the middle goes left over right. Now, this is the commonly known cloth stitch, or a hole stitch. But, when you're moving all the way across from side to side, those 3 movements become disjointed. Because if you think, you move the middle 2, the outer 2, the middle 2. But all you're really achieving is bobbin 1 starts off going over and then goes over, under, over, under, over, under until it appears out the other side. The other one starts under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And so that's the move that I do. And so I do them kind of in bulk, because then, as I will demonstrate when I've twisted them, So once again, let me move down a bit to the bobbins. I moved the first one because they have to be one apart, and now their moves will always be mirrored, so they both go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. That's it. It's a lot quicker, and if you stop, you can see where you got to quite easily, because you're working you're working with the two bobbins, and it's a lot quicker because realistically, you can keep an eye on whether you've messed up somewhere, because each pair of bobbins that you meet, you will start with the right hand one going over. So you can count how many pairs you've travelled while doing it. And I usually do that by repeating myself. So, for example, let me get this pair out of the way so that we don't make mistakes. And then this one goes over, and now we go over, which means we've done a pair. Well, actually, we do it on the under, to be fair. So, in this case, we've done 2. So that's 2, 3, 4, which would be right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's fine. And it just means that I can do the cloth stitch bits that bit quicker. And I guess it's my weaving head that makes me want to do it. Because obviously, in essence, cloth stitch is purely normal weaving. You're going under, over, under, over, under, over. So why not just do that? So yes, let's put you back a little bit more where you want it to be. Zoom in just a little bit, perhaps. Thank you, dog. And this is why the spangles were so annoying, because they interfered with the flow of this motion, and because they would stick and then they would cross because the bottoms had stuck, or the bottoms would lift up, so you can't, it feels like you're halfway through a move even though you're finished, and it just didn't help. It was not a good and glorious thing. So we didn't need that in our lives. So I wonder how people are doing today. It's a joyous Monday morning. Well, for some of you, Monday evening for the rest of us. We've got some stuff going on at work, and we had an announcement today that felt a little tactless considering what was going on. So although it's been weighing on my mind a while, today really didn't help. So, did I faux pas? I have not faux pas. Why did I get you out early then? nearly at the end. Yes, I definitely feel like these are going to run out quite quickly. Despite putting in reasonable amount of thread, obviously, as I said yesterday, one of the big problems is that because this worker pair are doing the whole of the white backwards and forwards all the way around the square, they do require a heck of a lot more thread than any other pair on the square, except for the pair that starts here. But other than that pair, everybody else, I won't say takes a straight line, but it is a relatively straight line through the pattern. And so they, you know, in essence, all you really need is the thread, the length of round the outside of the pattern, plus a bit to hold it on the bobbin at each end. And whereas these need a lot, and I didn't take that into account enough. Now, one of the other things is, of course, is we could have swapped this pair for a coloured pair in the middle. We could have done that and had kind of a highlight. Now, obviously, as we discussed, it is exceptionally traditional that all lace curtains are white. It's just a thing. However, I do think that there is scope for an element of colour. Because these would be smaller highlights, not a thing. Now, part of me says the lovely extra stupidly thin silver or gold thread that I had would be quite nice because it would sparkle in the sunshine. But it's also, it is a little more noticeable in person than it is on camera. It's like capturing glitter and well on a still photo. It's, for some reason, some of these things are hard. And hello, dog. The dog is back. Sorry for the wiggling and the head butting of the pillow. What? Yes, you're very lovely. No, you're not coming up. Not that way. There's no room between me and there. You'll have to go around the other way. So yes, I you know, maybe the outer ones should have some colour. But the truth of it is, whatever we do, we will need at least 5 squares that are going to be white. If not, we need, well, the rest of them to be white, and only the 5 in the middle to have maybe a little bit of colour on it. So, I think we have plenty of time to contemplate this and decide whether we wish to add a little variance in it, so that I nearly made a mistake. I nearly made a mistake. Thank you for that, dog, as you headbutted the computer table. Trying to get one of these things is infuriating. Always seems to get them all in my. What didn't we do, children? We forgot to add a pair. There we go. Grab the pair. They are the right pair, so it's not. So it is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. That was close, wasn't it? That was close. We nearly made a faux pas. Ooh, that doesn't look quite right. Why does that not look quite right? I think that's a tension issue on some of these threads, mine. Not so much to be worried about. Okay. That'll be fine. Just a little bit of worry there. These around a bit. I know it's a bit late, but can we move you around just a little bit more without messing up too much? There we go. Grabbing a pin. And the last ones. Check you twisted. And steal a pin. It's the wrong pin out. There it is. Right, now, how are we going to try and, I'm still a bit short of cloths. Pins, let's take these pins out. Dunk. On the other side of this cloth. Maybe not. There it is. Right. So, I'm going to put you on the bottom, and then I'm going to take you on top, and we're going to work everything around that bottom pin. This cloth over so that we can get at another layer, because it's getting a bit crowded up there, and we can start back around the top and catch ourselves on the two pins we put further down. Incoming ads in a few seconds. Time. Get my box box of bobbins. And now we need a pin. Steal a pin. Put in a pin. So, snug you up like that. And then we need another pair of bobbins. And we need to take out that pin and try and find this pinhole. Part with you a little more, please. This would be nice. If you could go over there a little bit. You're a bit long. But that feels wrong. That feels wrong. So we will undo that. Go back and look. Why does that feel wrong? Well, if you look, this one's come through those, but is not those. This is different. So we shall backtrack and find out how I got this so wrong. And that's the simple answer. It's you two being done. So now I need to move you two through. really regretting not having got a drink. Really regretting having dogs too on occasions. Look like they're lying down, just as I was thinking I could go and get a drink. And yet another pair of bobbins. Thank you for that, Rory. Keep getting pins out and I've already got one. Already got one there. One of the things that I am slightly struggling with is that I'm conscious that there's going to be many hours of me streaming this, and I fear that the people who find me and, you know, maybe find it interesting today will get very bored of it, given that it is exceptionally repetitive. And I'm not quite sure what I can do about that, because, well, it is repetitive. That's kind of half the point. It is a repetitive hobby. Can't really take that away from it. So I do fear that it is not going to be like the most interesting journey for you guys. And as I say, I'm really not quite sure what I can do about that. You are done. So yeah, I'm not quite so sure how to spice it up, for want of a better word, because, well, it's not really a spicy thing. Ooh, this doesn't feel right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I've got to add one. How can this be wrong? We've barely got going. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've taken one out. So, how have we got more? The answer is because we have already got our added one, that is 6. That's fine. Panic over, Mr. Mannering. Panic over. She says checking. You two come down to you two. Hey! We will not have any of that. Sorry about that. That would have been a little bit more blood-inducing if I had not stepped in. Yes, I know you're sorry, because you didn't deserve it, little one. But you probably did. So, let me count. We know we've got the right number of bobbins. So, stop making your life hard, woman. Just accept that you've got it right. Yes, you rivet him. And don't look at me, sir. You started that. I'm not saying she was being perfect. Far from. Mr. Paws, can we not, please? Or I will go and put you in the other room and you will sit there on your own. Don't say sorry to me. I don't care. You need to say sorry to your sister. She's the one who nearly got a face full of teeth. Isn't she? She's the one who nearly got the face full of teeth. Put Bobbin's back now. He's not trying to sit there. And missed. Getting warm. Time to take jumper off. And I see you've taken the thing off the back of the couch. Well done, dogs. Put the couch back together later. So. So yes, I'm not sure how long this stream will be tonight. I mean, obviously I'm quite conscious that I would like to complete the square. I would like to complete many squares. I would like to complete them while I still remember why I'm making them, if you know what I mean. And before my brain gets bored of doing it. Because, you know, it's going to be a lot of repetition. I'm sure my brain will get bored of it. So we may have to have a couple of side projects along the way. Which generally won't be so bad, because maybe what will happen is I will, I still primarily will film every Friday afternoon, but what it might mean is that during the working week I might do something else off stream, and so I'm just trying to unhook some of these caught up threads. There we go. And so to keep my brain a little bit more something different, happiness, so that it doesn't get too kind of bored of this, not paying attention, make stupid mistakes kind of level. So I may have to do that a little bit. because that's the kind of brain I've got. So I may have to appease it somewhat. But I can still share with you what I've been working on, of course. And maybe as an occasional, you know, thing, if we're near the end of a side project, I can show you what I've been doing or do a little bit of it on stream. Assuming I can get it all on screen for whatever reason. One, two, three, four, five. Oh, it's short. Make you a bit longer. Guess you're a little bit short. Needless to say, this is not a Christmas present, because I'd have to have started this time last year, frankly. Which makes it just as well, really. You need to stay under there. Now. This is not right. These are not the bobbins for which I am after. Somehow, despite having the right number of bobbins, I am not right. And I think the simple answer is I've used the same pinhole twice because the pinholes are mind-numbingly small and the pins just as much so. So we will undo this and go back to here, grab you two and undo you and pull you out. And I believe that you are one pinhole, and there are two. Let me scoot you over now that you are free, and let me have a look. Definitely seem to be two pins in here, so let me take you. Scoot you, which is hard to do behind the other one. I need a little bit more movement in my worker threads, so let's loosen you slightly, like this. There we go. bit. You can now straighten up in your spot. And I was right. I was right. I had used the same pinhole twice. So that was a near miss. That was a bit of a worry, but we have fixed it. We will make sure that the tension is reasonable. Yes, that's much better. I have to stick my head so far in to see, but if I pop that down and make that all look good, and pop you and make sure you're all down, that looks fine. That looks good. So now, this is going to be an interesting rose ground. Okay. Because you come out into that rose ground. Okay. So, this is where you want like a 9-foot bobbin. A 9-foot pin, so that you can have a decently long pin for your pivot bobbin, and you pivot around it and all the threads can build up, and it doesn't really matter because, well, they can. So you're good. Let's take you back round, put you back on here because we don't need you for a bit. We're done with all of you for a little while. Okay, let's do, that is covered. So let's use you for a minute. To cover you up a little more. I still want to be able to get at the pins though. And I don't really want them mating with the pins. Ooh, landslide. Where's a pokey device? There's my pointy pokey device. Right. Time to swing you round. Because not you. So can we fit you at least under there? I appreciate that this is making a bit of a kind of cave in this corner that you can't really see. But we're not going to be working on that bit. We're going to be working on this bit for a little bit. See, we're here already. We only started doing that bit on Saturday. It took us 2 weeks to get here. Amazing how much difference a lack of spangle makes, isn't it? I didn't have much time because, well, I didn't. But I have started at looking into some form of image to show where we are in the net curtain. So obviously I've got a square divided into triangles so that it starts off like a grey square, as in not done, and then as we fill in the triangles, this one will go here so it fills in that order, and then obviously once it's complete we'll have completed a square. So to try and kind of continue on in that vein, I'm hoping to make a bit of a, not an app for that, but something I can put on screen without going completely insane. I mean, to be honest, I could do it in Paint and make a bit of a cheesy job of it, and then just colour in the colour in the triangles, to be honest. But that, you know, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But basically I want it so that you can track where we're at in the videos, so that, you know, if you dip out and come back later, you can see how far we've got, even if it looks like we haven't got anywhere. Because, you know, that could be very much a thing. Oops, 2 more pins. Just what it doesn't matter. I just realised something. Undo that. And undo that. Twisty! As you come out of cloth stitch, there are no twists on the threads, and the twists bind them together. So you can not twist them, but you have to remember to then not twist any of them. And some stitches come with twists, some, you know, end on a twist, and some don't. And cloth stitch does not. So there we go. I spotted it and caught it before it was a problem. Go me! That's only, what, the 5th one of the evening? Yeah, looks like I do need that one. Well, at least for this row. Yes, I do. And that is right. I've used my spares part. Go under here. There you go. You take up. Right, ads in a couple of minutes. When the ads come, I'm going to escape and get me a drink before I die of passing out of lack of fluids. No, actually, that's not too likely, but I'm feeling remarkably dry at the edges. So I will go and get a drink when the ads come in 1.5 minutes. That was not me farting, that was the dog moving and she's scratching. Ads time. There we go. That's a bit better. I've got a drink. The dogs look at me like I'm slightly insane. Well, that's not unusual. Let's put you up there for a minute. Pull you out. Put you in there. Give you a bit of a tug. Next pair of bobbins. Steal from the back. So yes, there we go. Rory, darling, you're being very needy, my little man. You are very needy today. You were a good boy today during work. Was it because you were good during work and now you've run out of goods? Now you have to be annoyings. He has to get up through the smallest hole. I am sitting on a 3-seater couch. I am sitting 6 inches from the arm of the right hand side. There are 2 whole seats to the left of me. So where does the dog have to come up? Now, bear in mind, all he wants to be is behind me. He walked to the empty side of the couch, has turned round and is now sitting behind me again. But he must come up through the smallest hole available to him on my couch. Mustn't you? It's the law of Rory. Yes. And it's really annoying. I know, my man, I do. Apparently I can't have my arm for a moment. Please bear with while I get licked to death. What? I know. You're a good boy. Lie down. Why don't you lie down? Lie down and be a good boy. I want to do this. I do. This is a me thing. It's not a dog thing. I know it's not a dog thing. I'm very aware it's not a dog thing. You sit there. I don't think you're actually going to stay sitting there, but you could just sit there. There's a pin in my hand. Do you mind not licking it? Look, there's a dog nose. Dog noses are not needed. No, I don't need a dog nose. Why does my camera keep sagging back down? There we go. Just about that. I don't need doggy help. I don't. I know. How rude of me. Yes, I know. Rory, please. Very good at rescuing pins with my left hand. Very good at doing a lot of things with my left hand. Missed. It's hard enough hitting pinholes without you jogging my arm, dog. I know you're trying to be in my lap while I do this. It's really far from ideal. It truly is. Oh no, my man. Oh no. Oh. Look, get off. Come on. Enough now. Enough. We can go back to watching telly after, and then you get all the hugs again. You'd think these things are deprived. Bear in mind, I spend 24/7 with them on a normal day. I really don't go out very much. So they are not deprived. They are not unloved. They do not want, except for the fact that a dog's want is never. You have never hugged a dog enough. There is always room for more. And as I say, it's not that I don't love them, because I very much do. It'd be a lot easier if they just sat still and... Stop licking her ears! I said, stop licking her ears. He suckles her ears, and then he makes them sore. I can hear you. I'm acting like she gets the rough end of every stick. No, she doesn't. She most certainly does not. She gives as good as she gets. Hence, the fight probably started by Rory, but at the same time, you can't be sure, you know. You're a bit short. Let's make you a bit longer. If you followed me on Instagram or Twitch, not on Twitch, on Threads, you'll have seen that I took the triangle that we made and mangled it together in a very crude sense of the word to make an approximation of what the final square will look like. It is very mangled. I mean, truly and utterly mangled. But it is a representation. That's possibly the nearest word for it. Actually, I'm going to use this. Poke those down a little bit. Problem with using the crochet hook is, of course, it's got a hook on the end and catches on threads. So it's trying to be careful. I've got a pin, idiot. This one's bent. You are too bent. You may leave the country. Let's get a replacement. Pull you up. Okay. I have a fear that I pulled her. Getting back from sitting at angles. Excited dog for some reason. Another excited dog. Someone must have breathed within a 100-mile radius. And we all know that dogs are not stupid, but dogs are also quite devious. Both of them will entice the other to believe that there is something going on to get a better spot because the other one was in it. So it's kind of the, look, there's a UFO. Kid runs to the side. Other kid comes and sits next to the parents, getting the warm spot. You know, it very much is that level of deviousness, and they definitely do it on purpose. Is most surely a conscious thought. I want the spot. Best way to get the spot: evict other dog from spot. How to evict other dog? Make it believe there is something outside that needs attention. And they both do it. Missed. Missed again. For goodness sake. There you go. And you are too long. It's not too long in that I couldn't have used it, but it's so much easier when they are pretty much all the same length. Last row of this, I think, this last row of this for a little bit. I don't have to stop here. I could go to the bottom, but in the interests of keeping the bobbins off the pillow for the maximum period of time, and let me just check I have got enough bobbins. So I happen to know that there are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more to go, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! I can count. I've got 5 more bobbins I can use, so we have all of our bobbins. I got that done right. Always a bonus. Yoink. Yoink. So, we've done our next bit of ground for the middle. Isn't it weird that we're not halfway through the quarter, but we're doing pretty well. And obviously today will be a shorter stream because it's a work day. And mind you, it's only 8:30. I was thinking, yeah, let's do the little bit of cloth stitch in the middle. Let's do the cloth stitch in the middle. I was going to stop, but given that it's not even time yet, I'm going to wrap you round here out the way because we don't need to see you for a while. And in fact, we will wrap all of you around here. As much as we can, keeping you in order. See, that doesn't really give us a lot of room, does it? Which of course is why we have 50 million cloths. You can never have too many cloths. Right, let's have a look. You're the working pair. And you two were on the way out, so you can stay over there behind that pin. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's fine, because we know we're going to get to the corner. Well, we've already done the corner. We're going to be going to the other side and not adding, but then we are taking one away. So let me think about that. Checking my calculations are correct in progress, because we were pretty confident we were right. So, because we had 6 at that corner, and pair definitely needs to leave. And the next one, the pair needs to leave, but we will not have added one yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we will have 5, and we will go back, and then we will lose one. So I need to go back to my diagram of counting, because I kept it, because I'm not daft. So, diagram of counting. For some reason, sometimes I click on things and it... How do I explain it? I click on things and it gives the wrong right-click menu the first time. So, we know that some of these magic numbers were incorrect. Let me share my screen. There we go. So, we know that some of these numbers are not entirely accurate. So, for example, if I get a big paint splodge and I make it red, for example, how do I make it big? Brushes, big brush. So, for example, we know that those numbers are right because we have 6 at this corner. This is the corner we are at here. So we had 6. We go to this corner. From this corner to this corner, we're not gaining one at this corner. See, this is, we know that some of this is wrong, which is why we have the bit down the other side. So, this was pin 6 minus 1. We don't gain one. 2, add 1, 3, add 1, 4, add 1, 5, add 1, 6, lose 1, add 1, 6, pin at 6 and lose 1, so 5, add 1, 6, pin at 6 and lose 1, 5. Add 1 and lose 1. So pin 1, add 1, that's 5 as per here. Where's this? My mouse pointer is the size of a gnat. So this is this corner here, which is right, so that's 5. It then goes over there, and that is 5. And it comes back this way, and well, and that should be 5, and then we lose 1 for 4 but gain 1 for 5. 5. 5. And yes, I really can't write, and I've lost my mouse pointer because it's like 1 pixel. 5. That then comes there, which is 5, which goes back to there, which is gain 1. So that's plus 1 and then minus 1. Okay, so we should have 5 the whole time. We go backwards and forth here every time we pin. Oop, something's barfed. Something has barfed. Really? Have we no internet? This is what the world telling me? Yeah, we've lost internet. Well done.